The entire room burst into laughter. It was supposed to be a harmless joke. Nothing more than a quick comment made during a sunny Saturday community fundraiser. A black single father standing beside a woman he had known for years casually introduced her as his wife to avoid an awkward misunderstanding. Everyone laughed. Everyone moved on. Everyone except her. Because as the laughter faded and the crowd turned away, she lowered her eyes and quietly whispered words that would change both of their lives forever. She wished he meant it. The smile disappeared from his face. For the first time, he realized the woman standing beside him had been carrying a secret in her heart for far longer than he ever imagined. Before we begin, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who believes in kindness and second chances, and subscribe to Heartwarming Tales for more emotional stories that remind us that love often appears when we least expect it. The warm spring sunshine covered the small town of Brookhaven in golden light as Jalen Brooks unloaded folding tables from the back of his pickup truck. At 37 years old, Jalen was known throughout the community as one of the kindest people anyone could meet. Life had not been easy for him. 5 years earlier, he had lost his wife, Renee, in a tragic car accident that shattered his world. One moment they were planning birthdays, vacations, and dreams for the future. The next, he was standing in a hospital hallway hearing words no husband ever wants to hear. The grief nearly destroyed him. But every time he felt himself slipping, he looked at his daughter. 8-year-old Amara became his reason to keep moving. His reason to keep breathing. His reason to keep believing tomorrow could still be better. Since then, every day had become a balancing act. He worked long hours as a maintenance supervisor at a local college. He packed lunches before sunrise, attended school events, cooked dinners, helped with homework, and somehow managed to keep life together despite carrying a heart that still felt broken. The people around him admired his strength. What they didn't see were the nights he sat alone after Amara fell asleep, staring at old family photographs and wondering if happiness would ever return. One person understood him better than most. Her name was Talia Monroe. Talia owned a small bookstore downtown and had known Jalen for nearly 4 years. Their friendship began when Amara wandered into the shop searching for books about space and astronomy. From that day forward, the bookstore became one of their favorite places. Talia always recommended books for Amara. She remembered birthdays. She attended school plays. She brought soup whenever either of them got sick. Without realizing it, she slowly became part of their lives. For Amara, she felt like family. For Jalen, she became someone he trusted completely. Yet neither ever crossed the line beyond friendship. Part of it was fear. Jalen felt guilty whenever he thought about moving on after losing Renee. Talia carried wounds of her own after years of disappointment and heartbreak. So they stayed safely within the boundaries of friendship. Until the day everything changed. The annual community fundraiser attracted hundreds of people to the town square. Families gathered beneath bright blue skies. Children played games while local businesses hosted booths and activities. Jalen and Talia spent the day volunteering together. At one point, an elderly visitor approached them and mistakenly assumed they were married. Without thinking, Jalen laughed and casually played along. The comment was innocent. A simple joke. The surrounding crowd found it amusing. But after everyone walked away, something unexpected happened. Talia's smile faded. Her eyes lowered. And in a voice barely louder than a whisper, she admitted she wished it were true. The word struck Jalen like a wave. For several seconds, he couldn't speak. Because suddenly, years of small moments came rushing back. The way she always remembered Amara's favorite snacks. The way she stayed late after school events. The way she looked at their little family when she thought nobody noticed. The way she had quietly loved them. And somehow, he had never truly seen it. That evening, neither knew what to say. The comfortable friendship they had built suddenly felt fragile. Both worried they might lose something precious. Days passed. Then weeks. The distance between them grew. Not because they wanted it. Because they were afraid. Jalen questioned everything. He cared deeply about Talia. But was it friendship? Was it love? Or was he simply afraid of being alone? At the same time, Talia regretted revealing her feelings. She feared she had ruined the most meaningful relationship in her life. The bookstore felt emptier. The days felt longer. And every time Amara asked why they weren't visiting as often, Talia's heart broke a little more. Meanwhile, Jalen began noticing how much Talia truly meant to their lives. Simple routines suddenly felt incomplete. Saturday mornings felt quieter. School events felt different. Even Amara seemed less cheerful. One afternoon, Jalen discovered an old drawing tucked inside one of Amara's notebooks. The picture showed 3 people holding hands beneath a bright yellow sun. One figure was clearly Jalen. Another was Amara. The third was Talia. Above them, written in a child's handwriting, were the words, "My family." The drawing stopped him cold. Because children often see truths adults are too afraid to acknowledge. That evening, he sat alone on his porch as the setting sun painted the sky with shades of orange and gold. For years he had been holding on to grief so tightly that he never allowed himself to imagine a new future. He wasn't betraying Renee by continuing to live. He wasn't dishonoring her memory by opening his heart. Love wasn't something that replaced what had been lost. Love was something that helped people heal. The realization changed everything. The next morning, under a clear daytime sky, Jalen walked into Talia's bookstore. She looked surprised to see him. Nervous. Hopeful. Afraid. The same emotions filled his heart. For the first time, neither hid behind friendship. Neither hid behind fear. The walls they had built over the years finally began to fall. From that day forward, they moved slowly. Carefully. Respectfully. Not because they doubted their feelings. Because they valued them. Months passed. Their bond grew stronger. Amara flourished. Laughter returned to places where sadness once lived. The bookstore became more than a shop. It became a gathering place filled with warmth, family, and hope. 1 year after the fundraiser, the town hosted another community celebration. The same square. The same sunshine. The same smiling faces. Only this time, when someone jokingly referred to Talia as Jalen's wife, nobody laughed harder than Jalen himself. Because now, the words no longer felt impossible. They felt right. And standing beside him, Talia's eyes filled with happy tears. Not because of a joke. But because sometimes the dreams we quietly carry in our hearts eventually find their way into reality. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a comment below, and share it with someone who believes love can arrive when life least expects it. Your support helps these heartwarming stories reach more people around the world. Special request, comment, "Love finds a way," if you believe second chances can lead to the most beautiful chapters of life. As the afternoon sunlight illuminated the town square and laughter echoed through the crowd, Jalen looked at the family standing beside him and realized something powerful. The hardest part of healing is not surviving the pain. The hardest part is believing happiness is still possible afterward. But when we find the courage to open our hearts again, life sometimes rewards us with blessings we never saw coming. And those blessings often arrive disguised as friendship, kindness, and the quiet love that was there all along. That I hope this version fits your desired emotional, cinematic, and heartwarming YouTube storytelling style.